Look, there's more to you than you think. There's more potential. There's more than enough potential to go around. There's definite suffering and malevolence in the world. We could fix it. You haven't got anything better to do.
That's a very big point, that there's more potential to go around. There's more than people understand.
Yeah, we're not going to run out of potential.
No, we're not. And this idea, the famine thinking, is one of the reasons why people get upset at other people's success. They think somehow or another that this other person's success takes something away from them.
Yep. Yeah, well, the other thing too is that I've realized that people actually act like what they confront in the world is potential. It's so funny because whatever potential is, it's not materially measurable. But if you tell someone you're not living up to your potential, they go, yeah, well, I know that. It's like, well, what is that potential that you're not living up to? And then when you say, well, there's potential in front of you, you know that. You can walk out on the street and you go right or left or straight ahead. Like, you're facing this thing that isn't fully formed, and you get to decide how it's going to form, and you can make it better. And so my question is, like, the world's a rough place, there's no doubt about it. It's a harsh place. But my question is, what would happen if we stopped making it worse? How good could it be if we stopped making it worse? And I don't know if there's an upper limit to that. Like, it might be, maybe we could make it really, really, really good. Why not? And we don't have anything better to do than that. It's like, aim at heaven. Start at home. Aim at heaven. Tell the truth. Let's see what the hell happens. You know, like, it is the case, clearly on the facts of the matter. In 20 years, there wouldn't have to be a single person in the world that was hungry. In 20 years, we could get rid of the 5 biggest diseases that currently plague the planet. We could straighten things up. And God only knows what things could be like then. Or we could let the whole thing degenerate into hell. So, and each of us is making that decision with each decision. That's the other thing that I've understood. So, take your choice. You want hell or you want heaven? If you pick hell, just remember, you knew what you were doing when you picked it.
If you were to go and look your father in the eye and said, you know what, I could have been a UFC champion. I could have been a multi-millionaire. I could have been a race car driver. I could have been a fucking nuclear physicist. Could have done all these things, but I was busy on Pornhub. You think he's gonna be proud of you? Fuck no. Fuck no. And there's men here who will deny it, right? There's men who will go, no, 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 no. But those are the ones who are most lost. It's the denial that's going to hold you back the most. The people who go, yes, I'm wasting my potential. Those are the ones who have potential. The ones who stand up and go, I am wasting my potential. I could be anything and I am not that yet. They have a chance. The men who go, well, no, actually, I'm fine. They're fucked. They're inside the matrix, fully slave-minded. They're a waste of time. But if you sit there and go, you know what? Yeah, I am wasting my potential. Yes, I can be more than I am. Even if I'm already great, I can be better. This is your prerogative as a man.
So you might say, well, at least you can start your self-organization by improving those things around you that are self-evidently not good. And that's easy, man. Anybody can do this. You can sit down for 10 minutes, say, well, I'm going to be honest with myself. Like, oh, that's a horrible thing to do. I'm going to be honest with myself. Okay, I'm probably doing a dozen stupid things that I could quit doing that are making my life more wretched, and also the people around me. And so you think, okay, what are those things? And you know, if you really want to know, you have to want to know. And you're going to get a bunch of information that you don't want to hear, but you'll know it's true, and you already knew it in some sense. And then you can ask yourself, okay, that sucks, and it's miserable, and it's not very self-affirming. Is there one of those things I would be willing to do something about, that I would actually do something about, you know, that I could do something about, that I would do something about, which is also another horrible question, because as soon as you get an answer to that, then you have a responsibility, right? It's like, oh God, I have to go do that. And it's something you don't want to do. You don't want to do it. That's why you've been avoiding it. And so then it's right in front of you. And it's like it's some little trivial, horrible thing that you're not going to get a pat on the back for, and no one's going to give you an award for it. And most people would just say, Jesus, you should have done that a long time ago, you moron. But then you go do it. That's kind of humility, I would say. And then you keep doing that.
And you're going to feel so much better for doing it. not even just physically, but mentally, knowing that you pushed yourself to do things you don't want to do. There's nothing that feels better than the feeling you have after you did something you don't want to do. As you know, when you're supposed to clean your room.
Yeah, you're right.
You eventually clean it and you're like, thank fuck I've cleaned it.
I did it. Like the homework. I went back at school. Oh, I did my homework. Oh, thank God I did it. I didn't want to do it, but thank God I did it. It's done.
Correct. That's what it feels like every single day of your life is nothing but discipline. It's beautiful. It's a beautiful existence.
What you're supposed to be telling kids is that who you are is more important. Who you could be is more important than who you are. Because you're living. It's like, what are you living for? If you're already everything you should be, it's like, well, you're done. So what good is it growing up? That's not helpful. It's like you say, look, man, you're full of potential. There's worlds out there to conquer. There's things to do. There's people to help. There's things to put right. Get the hell together. And don't let your fears stop you.
As opposed to everything's great and you're this wonderful child, why would you want to then burden yourself with a bunch of responsibility? Why would you do that? Doesn't make any sense. I'm already good to go.
Yeah, right.
No, unburden me.
Well,
Don't
and the
burden
kids know that's not true because they're not people in general know this because they're not satisfied with their life. They have a feeling that there's got to be more. Well, there is more, but the more isn't by radical self-acceptance of all your pathetic flaws. You don't teach 18-year-olds to go and demonstrate about capitalism, because they don't know anything and they have problems in their own life that need to be solved that are local. And the local problems aren't trivial, they're not disciplined. They're not looking at the world in a straight way. They're not taking responsibility for themselves or for their actions, their sexual actions, among others. They're not taking responsibility for their family. They're not looking at how they could contribute to the community. They don't understand the fact that they don't know anything. And so they should be taught to start locally and to put things together that they could put together, to make their bed and to clean up their room and to attend their classes with regularity if they're going to university, because that's part of the implicit contract, and to straighten up the things around them that are actually within their power to straighten up. And then what happens is that if you do that, let's say religiously, which I suppose would be the same as in a disciplined manner, that your realm of influence starts to grow, but it grows in a positive way. Just like you can end up in hell one step at a time. And that's extraordinarily well documented. You can end up at the opposite place of that one step at a time, but it's also that same gradual process. You don't get to leap from being a 17-year-old knothead who doesn't know anything and who isn't disciplined to the critic of Judeo-Christian society. You just don't know enough to do that, especially when you can look at your own life and think about how many things that you're doing that you know are wrong, that you could fix, that you aren't fixing. And that's the crucial thing. This mode of thinking isn't asking people to stretch themselves beyond what they're capable of. It's just asking them to stretch themselves to the point that they are capable of and seeing what happens. And that works. It works. I've had many people write me over the last year, and this is a great thing, really, it's a great thing, who said that they started to tell the truth, or at least not to lie, because who can tell the truth, right? But at least you can not lie. And that they started to put things in order around them that they could put in order, and that, the positive things just started to happen like mad. And they're not nihilistic, and they've got a purpose in their life. And so, thank God for that. And it does work.